Thank you. Today is Tuesday, June 9th, 2015, approximately 4:02 in the afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If you take roll, please.
Commissioner Durancheck.
Here.
Liggett.
Here.
Coonan.
Here.
Eric.
Here.
Tilly.
Here.
Lutz.
Here.
Krieger.
Yes.
All members accounted for.
Thank you. If we'd stand for the invocation and the pledge.
Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon, thanking you for the guidance and understanding that you have given this Board of Commissioners. Lord, we ask again today for your help and direction to carry on and do the work that has been placed before them. May your divine providence help them to benefit every citizen of this community. In your holy name we ask this. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There's a number of dates for the minutes. What's your pleasure?
So moved. Support.
I do want to make an announcement that there was an error on the May 5th minutes, and it would be on page 7, and it deals with 70, I'm sorry. And it deals with resolution 96-311. It should actually be 96-331. So we'll make those corrections, and if there are no any other discussions, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It goes. Now's an opportunity for citizens' input. Those of you that would like to address the board, now would be the time to do it. It looks like only a few people want to be on the left, and everybody else is on the right, so. Did you like to come up? Very good. First is always the best. If you give us your name and address, that'd be great.
I'm Susan Blondin, and I came here to look for the position as the library, on the library board. And I'm going to tell you that I have been a citizen of Bay City for 37 years. My education is from Central Michigan. I have a master's degree, and part of that was involved with reading and teaching literacy. So I think that brings quite a bit to the table when you're talking about literacy and being on the library board. So I'm hoping that would help in your consideration of myself. I'm not sure what else to tell you about myself. Is there anything that you would like to know?
Yeah, Commissioner Coonan has a question.
Oh, I just like to make a comment that all of the candidates are tremendously qualified, and I wish you the best of luck on that. We had one did drop out, and she was tremendously qualified as well. So if for some reason only one individual gets elected, don't stop applying for different boards, because there's a lot of need out there for folks like yourself that have those types of qualifications.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you for coming up. Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the board? That being said, we'll move into petitions and communications. We have a recognition of Thomas Baird. It would be resolution 2015-113. What is your pleasure?
So moved. Support.
Madam Clerk, if you could read the resolution, that would be great.
Resolution 2015-113 by the Bay County Board of Commissioners. Whereas the Bay County Board of Commissioners and the Bay County Executive are extremely proud to recognize the commitment to saving lives shown by Thomas Baird, who reached a milestone on May 20, 2015 with the donation of his 35th gallon of blood. And whereas a blood donor since the age of 17, with the donation of his 35th gallon of blood, Thomas Baird has saved 840 people and is recognized by the Michigan blood officials as the top honor in Bay, Saginaw, and Midland counties, the number 2 donor in the Mid-Michigan region, and the top 10 in the state of Michigan. And whereas this level of participation demonstrates an extraordinary commitment to community service. And whereas a retired educator, Thomas Baird has touched and shaped the lives of hundreds of students he has taught over the years and continues to lead and set an example of giving back. And whereas Thomas Baird's generous, ongoing donation of self and time is an inspiration, and his encouragement to others to donate merits recognition, therefore be it resolved that the Bay County Board of Commissioners and the Bay County Executive, on behalf of the 840 lives thus far saved, do hereby commend Thomas Baird for his selfless commitment to saving lives through the donation of his own positive blood to those in need, and offer the best wishes in this and all future endeavors. Signed, Ernie Krieger, Chair and Board of Commissioners.
Thank you. Mr. Baird, if you'd come up. Commissioner Herrick, if you'd present the resolution, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, this is indeed a pleasure, because I've known Tom for many years now, and he even brought his own little cheering section here, and good for him. You know, there's a lot of people that he's touched their lives, and like they said in here, that's a lot more blood than probably this whole room has given. You know, after a couple gallons, you know, we kind of lose track of things, and but to go there week after week, you know, month after month actually, and keep doing it, and the time you did it, you know, since you were 17. It's amazing in itself, and you know, I'm proud that he lives in my district. You know, I mean, it's always nice to have somebody who gives back a lot, and obviously we all do it in different ways. And the way that he did it, you know, it just touched a lot of people. And again, I'm so proud to know you, and congratulations on your milestone.
Thank you very much. I just would like to thank Commissioner Herrick for the recognition in the county board. I know all the county commissioners and county executive Hickner, and I know most of the people sitting up here, and I just would encourage people to donate, whether it to be Michigan to Blood or the American Red Cross. There's always a need in our community, and it does help save lives. And after a long time of giving, you know, it started to hit home here that, you know, it does really help in our community. And I would just continue to encourage you, if you can donate blood, to please do so. And I thank you very much for having me here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks again. Next, we have a City of Bay City application for an industrial facility tax exempt.
Support.
Discussion on it. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move into a request for appointment to the Bay County Library Board. A motion to receive the 4 candidates would be in order.
Motion to receive.
Support.
Discussion. Again, I'd just like to mention what Kim had said. The level of individuals in the education is amazing, and the quality of people that are asking for this position. We appreciate it. Commissioner Coonan.
Mr. Chairman, do we want to go to the regular order of business and take care of this at this time? Do we need a motion to do that?
I do believe so.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. I do want to make one announcement to follow up on what just went on with the recognition of Tom Baird. There is a blood drive today at the Faith Lutheran Church, and there's one on the 14th at the Zion Lutheran Church. Instead of waiting to the end of the meeting, I thought it was fitting, thanks Madam Clerk, that we'd share that information. Thank you. All right, Sergeant at Arms.
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, if you would take a head count.
Sorry.
If you, yep, we're ready to go.
We start today with Commissioner Herrick.
Yes.
This is a rivet.
Tilly?
Blind.
Lutz?
Bishop.
Durancheck?
Wanda.
Big Ick?
Blondin.
Coonan?
Susan Blondin.
And Chairman Krieger.
Barb Vishneski.
Kuznetsky? 1, London 4, Bishop 1, Rivet 1. Motion in order for response.
Yes. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Congratulations. Did she leave? We'll have to call her on the phone. Just kidding. All those in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Very good. Welcome. We're going to move into reports and resolutions of the committee. We'll go to Ways and Means with Commissioner Coonan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. From the Ways and Means Committee, we have Resolution 2015-114, Justice Assistant Grant from the Sheriff's Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. No discussion. All those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-115, this is the 2016 CRP 4D application amendment from the Prosecutor's Office. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-116, this is the 2016 CRP 4E application amendment from the Prosecutor's Office. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-117, 457, deferred compensation fiduciary liability policy renewal from personnel. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussions. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-118, Bay 3 TV contract renewal from the Administrative Services. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussions? Go ahead, Commissioner Begic.
Mr. Gerard has left already, but I was going to say we'd like to get the city back on board, so hopefully they can find it in their budget sometime to participate. I know they have some very interesting meetings.
I know that it's valuable information to get out to the public, and Harold with Bay 3 TV, you do a marvelous job, so I appreciate that. Commissioner Tilley.
And I appreciate that Kristen looked in and answered my question as far as they went and talked to Harold. And I do also think, as Mr. Begic does, that they should reconsider becoming more transparent to the public and letting the public see their meetings, either taped or live, either way. But so I would strongly encourage the city of Bay City to reconsider this going forward and going forward with Bay 3 TV.
Very good. Anyone else? With that being said, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-119, this is the mail machine from Recreations and Facilities. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussions. Commissioner Herrick.
I just want to say I appreciate all the information I got on the mail machines. It might seem inconsequential to some people, but I mean, it was pretty interesting to see the different levels of cost. I know you did. It takes a lot of time. You did a lot of work on it, and I just I forgot about it until actually I saw the email. But no, it was good. It was good information. Thank you.
And Kristen, with us watching our pennies as much as we can, and the push for technology that's been driven, like from Commissioner Coonan and the rest, what kind of savings have you found, or what avenue are we going, seeing that we're trying to be paperless more? Maybe you could just bring us up to speed a second.
Sure. I think we're doing a really good job going electronic internally. Some things do have to be mailed out. I think when we take a look at our 2015 numbers at the end of the year, we're going to see a reduction in the amount of pieces mailed because our EFTs went electronic in January of this year. We also took a look at our paper costs, and if the trend is correct, our paper costs are going to be low this year as compared to the last couple of years. So I think we're doing a really good job pushing that effort.
Good. That being said, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-120, this is the appropriation for the purchase of radios for the juvenile home. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. Anything, I see Julie, you're here. Anything you'd like to add on the radios for the home? Something well needed?
Yes.
All right. All right, with that being said, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-121, this is the addition of Sanilac County to the Next Generation 911 phone system. It's an intergovernmental agreement through 911 dispatch. I move this resolution. Support.
Discussions. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-122, this is the funding for naloxone and Narcan distribution to the police and the first responders from the health department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. Commissioner Begic.
The cover article of Time Magazine this week was about the heroin epidemic and, overdoses and how it's sort of replacing the other drugs. The problem is the other drugs have been restricted, they're Schedule II, and so it's harder for them to get. So a lot of people are turning to the heroin, and that's why we're seeing a lot of overdoses. I think I heard a couple more on the weekend out in Essexville way that have been taken in. So definitely is a problem in our community.
Okay, Commissioner Coonan?
I think it's a problem in every community, and when you analyze it, probably the primary reason is a lack of the middle class. There's a lack of people, and we've been saying this for years. I know Commissioner Tilley and we've been on the board for a long, long time, and we've said that this generation of the last 30, 40 years where we have not had a robust middle class, actually we've had a very small, lean middle class, that people just don't have the opportunities that my generation had. So I hate to say that they're falling into whether it's drugs or alcohol, but I would think that if we would have give people the opportunity to work 8 hours, provide for their family, that we would have less of these social problems that exist today. And it's good that we're able to do something, hopefully to help, but I think this is just a Band-Aid, and what we really need to do, we've drafted a number of resolutions, whether it's on healthcare reform or let's rebuild the middle class, and I think that would go a long way towards solving a lot of the ills that do exist in society today.
Very good. Commissioner Tilley?
A couple of things. One, this is not so much just the funding for these drugs, but us talking about this is one of the first steps in the road to reducing or eliminate this heroin so-called epidemic that's occurring in the Tri-County region. It's education is the key, whether it be at home, school, but as a servant of the community, we as the county and the city have an obligation to get this information out there on the dangers and the fallout of heroin use and or abuse in our community. I know one of the articles I read, the one couple, they had 100 customers that they were dealing with. So there's at least 100 more people that are using the drug in our community, let alone the other ones that are probably selling it. And I'm also curious, as Mr. Coonan is, I think it piggybacks with that, is the reduction in funding for community mental health that's occurred over the last few years. How many of these people don't have access to the medications that they once would have gotten through community mental health, or access to therapy through community mental health, that since they don't get it, go out and seek alternatives to self-medicate, and you end up with problems like this, whether it be heroin, which happens to be more prominent because it's so deadly, or alcohol, or whatever other drugs they might be taking of choice. So I do, even though we aren't doing anything necessarily to educate the public on the dangers of heroin, we are at the same time as this will hopefully make some news in the paper, as they've done with the stories of what's occurred in our community, that we are taking some steps on our side to try and help remedy some of these situations. Hopefully we won't have so many people die from the result from using heroin.
We have Joel Strauss here. Joel, maybe you could come up a second. I know, obviously the word education comes out, and the health department's been very proactive with a lot of programs that helps the middle class. Do we have some order of how we want to be able to help individuals?
Yes, we're going to be issuing a public health advisory on the problem within the next few days. We've been actually researching some of the trends in the data for the last couple of years. This is not just a problem that showed up this year. It's something that has been continually occurring. And Commissioner Begic is right. Really, kind of the spur of this was that in the healthcare field, there's an overpopulation of opioids, painkillers, and they were given out, for lack of a better term, quite freely up until about 2012, 2013. Then the schedule changed, the federal narcotics schedule, so it actually became harder to obtain those drugs. What folks that were addicted, we've seen a lot of folks addicted, especially in 2010, 2012, to prescription opioids, have tended to turn to heroin. It's a cheaper alternative. But unlike the prescription drugs that you see on the street, there's no, you don't know what you're getting. And in quite a few instances, some of these drugs are cut with dangerous substances like fentanyl. And quite a number of the deaths that we've had in this past year are heroin or opioids with fentanyl, which is a pretty serious drug in and of itself. There are opportunities for treatment. There is capacity for treatment in the community. One of the problems, though, is once you're hooked on heroin, it is extremely difficult to get unhooked, to really become sober. And I know the police have mentioned that it's working with heroin addicts. They're not easy to work with to identify and go after dealers as a result. But the key thing is, as Mr. Tilley said, is education. We need to educate the general public on the dangers that are out there. This is not just a Bay County problem. This is a problem that's happening all across the state, the nation. But so people that understand, I mean, I hate to say that we were kind of caught off guard. We should have known better on this, looking at the trend data. There's been over 130 overdoses of Bay County residents this year when we looked at some of the data. Now, I can't differentiate from the data sets that we have what types of drugs that they overdosed on. Some are intentional and some are non-intentional. But that's a high number of folks that are overdosing. And the other thing to take into consideration too is that there are more people dying of drug overdoses as of 2010 than in Bay County that people died of car accidents. And I never thought I would see that in my lifetime. So the first thing is to inform the general public. The next thing is to inform healthcare providers. There are a number of things that healthcare providers can do. One of the easiest things to do is when people come in looking for painkillers is to screen them with what's called a MAP system. And that will link them with different pharmacies to find out what they are already been prescribed. So that's a really good thing to work with. And then also to work with families and people that are abusing drugs to try to get them into treatment. And then finally, to do some outreach to people that are either suffering from drug abuse or family members of people that are suffering from drug abuse. Because the naloxone or Narcan, which is its common name, can be prescribed to family members if they know that there's a person that is using heroin, so they can actually administer that self. And what it does, it acts to arrest the opioid. It's called an opioid antagonist, and so it stops the overdose in its tracks. So those are three different things that we can do, but essentially education is the key thing.
And if you're a family member that has somebody, whether it be family or friends, and they were looking for some assistance or help, and they called and said, hey, where do I go? What's the recommendation?
The first place that we would recommend that they call would be their family physician, if they have one. The other place that would be on second on my list would be Mid-State Health Network, or the former Riverhaven Coordinating Agency.
Okay.
They have a 24/7 hotline for folks that are abusing drugs and want to quit. They can put people together with resources out in the community. they can get appointments for folks to try to get treatment. That's the key thing. It might take 2, 3, 5, 7 relapses in order for a person to fully become off of an opioid, but it's necessary in order to do the treatment.
Okay. Commissioner Durancheck.
Thank you. Joel, the funding for this grant, does it also cover education of the police officers on how to administer?
It will have to do that.
Yeah, okay.
It's a fairly simple process, and what we're proposing on doing is getting naloxone that's done with a nasal ingestion. You can do it with the hypodermic needle, but that's difficult in and of itself. Most people don't know how to administer hypodermic shots, but this is actually quite simple. Half a dose in one nostril, the other half in another nostril. What we're suggesting is that all the first responders, the EMS guys already have this on their rigs, but all responders, whether it's police, fire, what have you, have that available on their rigs with them. Because you never know when you're going to be called for an overdose. And the other thing too would be to do outreach to folks that may be using drugs, because one of the things that is quite often is that in epidemiological studies, they've noted that 65% of people that overdose have someone with them at some given time when they overdose. A lot of people don't call on that because they figure that they're going to be in trouble with the law as a result. So we want them to make that call. We want them to call the first responders.
Very good.
Thank you.
Joel, thanks for sharing that information. Hopefully we can make a difference.
Thank you.
All right, no further discussion. All those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-123, this is Amendment 3 and 4 to the CPBC agreement with the Health Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-124, Amendment 2 to the MDEQ agreement with the Health Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-125, acceptance of the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging carryover funds through the Division on Aging. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-126, tax tracking system for mosquito control. I move this resolution.
Support.
Any discussion? With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-127, this is fiscal year 2016 Community Corrections Grant Application and Contractor Agreements through Community Corrections. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-128, this is the payables through the general, bayonet, Center Ridge Arms. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-129, this is a couple of budget adjustments through the Finance Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? Commissioner Coonan?
I just want to say, I remember I've been on this board about 13 years, and we used to have quite a number of budget adjustments. So somebody must be doing a better job in putting what they need in their budget. And I think that goes to Tom, your staff, and Bob working together, because in the past, we had quite a number of, and sometimes you need budget adjustments, but it just seems like we're doing a better job budgeting so that anything that needs to be recapitalized is done more so now than it was in the past. Is that somewhat accurate, Bob?
Very accurate. Used to have 100, 200 sometimes.
Yeah. So you guys are doing a great job over there. And Bob?
We have a great relationship.
I know that.
Special. Anyone else?
But no raises.
No raises.
That's right. All those in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-130, this is the 2016 budget calendar schedule from the Finance Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-131, this is the Riemann change order for the CAFR and Gadsby 67 through the Finance Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-132, this is amendment number 3 to MISHDA grant for the Housing Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-133, this is the Regional Housing Study Participation through the Housing Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussions. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2015-134, this is opposition to Senate Bill 321. I move this resolution. Support.
Discussion. Commissioner Begic.
I had the opportunity to stop into Senator Green's office yesterday. I was down for a MAC meeting, talked to a staff person, and I talked to Senator Green today. This is in the third reading. They're going to vote on it tomorrow, so it's pretty far along the process in the Senate. It has to go to the House after this. He said at the hearings, the state court administrator's office did not oppose this bill. He said they had done another study and they felt that it was justified, that it was okay the way it was being changed to eliminate a district court judge versus a circuit court judge. So he said the state court administrator's office generally does not take a yes or no. They'll stay neutral. They did not oppose it. And so he feels that they basically said it's okay to do this. Like I say, it's in the third vote tomorrow, so it's pretty far along in the Senate process. I wish I would have heard earlier, and I think all of us would have liked to have heard a little earlier from Senator Green about the bill before it came up this way. So I did mention that to him, that we'd like to, if it's affecting Bay County specifically, it's not a bill that just affects, the state of Michigan, it affects us.
Correct.
So, the House would be the next option, but, I'll probably vote opposing the bill.
Very good. And Mr. Redmond, I think you have a comment?
Yes, State Court Administrator's Office
Thank you.
didn't do another study. They don't do it until this fall. They made the recommendation back in 2012, which passed the state, Senate, and House by overwhelming vote. It's been in effect for 3.5 years, almost 3 years and 3 months. And now, because there is going to be a circuit court judge retiring this year, they want to switch it to district court. Well, district court, they're fairly young, so there's not going to be a change there for another 10 years. That will cost us in 10 years $1.3 million at least, if not more. And I've spoken, Mr. Quinn and I spoke with Judge Schmidt on Friday, and I spoke with Judge Sharon yesterday and today. And they believe we can work something out, but this bill has to go down in order for us to work this out.
Anyone else? No further?
And the State Court Administrator's Office and the Senate staff did not take into consideration how much money the county would save and the state. They never even considered that. They just said that. And when I talked to Judge Schmidt, he said he had absolutely nothing to do with it. Yet Judge Sharon told me today that he got all the judges together and they thought they could work something out with the county. So I had suggested a pilot program, which there are in other counties, where all the judges can do everything. And then they could settle, they could work and get along with 5 judges instead of 6 there. But I think we need the opportunity to get together by defeating this bill.
Anything else? Any other?
Neither the judges nor Senate or Green's office got in touch with us, with the chairman of the board or anybody else. They've been working on this since at least January. No communication with us.
You're all set. Commissioner Lutz.
A question at the end, if I may. Will this be sent to all legislators?
Yes, senators and the House.
And the House.
Thank you.
Very good. With that being said, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. I'm sorry?
Was a name.
All right. Want
Or
to make
no,
sure we got that.
whatever.
Mr. Conan?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that that is all the business that we have from Ways and Means. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Coonan. We'll move into Personnel and Human Services, which is Commissioner Lutz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to bring forth Resolution 2015-135. It's a Freedom of Information Act, FOIA procedures and guidelines from Administrative Services and Corporate Counsel. I so move that resolution.
Support.
Discussion. With that being said, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next is Resolution 2015-136, which is the sub-award agreements with local schools from the Health Department. I so move that resolution.
Support.
Discussions. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, I bring 2015-137, the vacancies in the Treasurer's Office, Division on Aging, Health Department, Registers of Deeds Office. I move that resolution.
Support.
Discussions. With none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes the business from the Personnel and Human Services Committee.
Very good, Commissioner Lutz. We'll move into the Board of Commissioners. That would be Commissioner Tilley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have Resolution 2015-138, report to the county executive. I so move this resolution. Support.
Discussion. No discussions. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll
That
move.
concludes business from the Board of Commissioners, Mr. Chairman.
Good job, Commissioner Tilley.
Thank you, sir.
At higher education. We'll move into reports of county officials and departments. That means county exec. Nothing. All right. Then we'll move into unfinished business. Do we have anything to discuss on unfinished? With that, we'll move into new business. We'll move into miscellaneous. Nothing on the beach?
Well, by the time the folks see this, but maybe nobody's here for the times either.
No.
But for all, everybody here, it's a great opportunity to go out and enjoy one of our beautiful, thanks, Dean. One of our beautiful resources. The beach is amazing. So a week from Saturday, June the 20th, 9 o'clock, we've got the run, we've got the walk, we have a volleyball tournament on the beach, we have a car show, and we're going to get a lot of participation throughout the community, raise money, all those dollars, every cent raised goes to clean up the beach. So there's no administrative fee or 15-20% that a lot of folks have for fundraisers or nonprofits. It's all going to the beach. So we hope that we're still striving to capture 1,000 foot in front of the spray park, and there's a path out there right now, and maybe later on after the beach event, we'll have a cleanup out there to, and it's not really all that bad shape. I think the higher waters is surely helping the reduction in the algae, the muck that used to be out there. It's not out there as much.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. You're welcome. And I think Mr. Hickner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. When you receive our monthly e-letter tomorrow, the beach wellness will be the #1 story, and Kristen just said that we send that out to about 3,100 people.
Very good, thank you.
That doesn't mean 3,100 people are going to read it.
You might have to bring more water though, right?
And apples.
Good thing it's electronic.
Yeah.
All right, and Commissioner Durancheck.
Also, Cheesetown Festival, June 19th and 20th in Pitt County. Unfortunately, the same weekend, but we have on Saturday, June the 20th, our Cheese-tacular fireworks at 10:15. And we also have the Little Mises race on Saturday, crafts, food tent, kind of a family-oriented, no beer tent. So it's, made, set up for kids and things like that. We're gonna have, our new band shell is there at the city park, and there will be performances by different bands and stuff there also. But the big thing will be the race, which is the 32nd annual, and that'll be on Saturday.
Very
2
good.
mile and a 5 mile. Saturday fireworks.
Very good. And I know.
Cheesy.
Cheesy? All right.
And Pink County girls, I hear, won the softball today. At
Very good.
Reese.
Congratulations.
Keep going.
Go Pinconning. All right. I know Mr. Lutz has an announcement to make also.
Yeah, we have success. The music in the March stage has been constructed out in the State Park. It was done last Saturday. It includes the backdrop for the movies at the Bay. To celebrate this, they're planning on a ribbon cutting ceremony on Saturday, June 20th at 6:30 p.m. prior to the 7 p.m. performance for the popular Zydeco and Ziggy and Oz, Marietta Graz, Michigan. The performance will include Irish folk songs, blues, and Cajun melody. So, plan to attend.
Very good. I should mention that this is another project that was done by the Friends Group, the Bay City State Recreation Area. They were also the group that helped put together the spray park and the addition to the spray park. And hats off to all the volunteers that showed up, not just to put this together, but actually attended a safety meeting, because it's important that when these projects are done, everybody knows which way to go and how to do it, so everybody's kept in a safe mode. So hats off to you and your guys. That's very good. Very good. Anyone else with announcements? If not, I have a couple here. We get to skip June. We've just taken care of that order of business. In October, we have a land bank authority. It's an at-large representative for a 3-year term. We also have a Department of Human Services Board of Directors, which is a 3-year term. We have Board of Canvassers, 2 4-year terms. These are actually appointed by both groups. And then in November, we have a Building Authority, which is a 2 6-year term. And in December, a Division on Aging Advisory Committee, which is 4 2-year terms for Districts 1, 3, 5, and 7. Yes, Commissioner Begin.
Point out that the Department of Human Services is going to be called Department of Health and Human Services. So
It's
it'll be
being changed.
DHHS.
Yep.
By then, it'll be set up.
Very good, thank you. My dear, do we have a need for a closed session?
No, Mr. Chair, there is no need.
Very good.
Motion to adjourn is always in order.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.